Technology partners are the unsung growth heroes. This is Partner-Led Growth, a show dedicated to empowering partners to discover the solutions their clients need while growing their ability to take their own revenue to the next level. Your host, Ben Spector, a passionate member of the MSP community for over a decade, will help you navigate the growing partner ecosystem. Partner-Led Growth is sponsored by Zomentum, the revenue platform transforming the partner sales ecosystem, one solution, one vendor, one partner at a time.
Welcome to Partner-Led Growth, the podcast. I'm your host, Ben Spector. Today's episode is a very special one. It's actually the first. So we're following a slightly different format and setting the scene for what we'll be exploring on the show. Today's guest has spent many years investing and growing SaaS companies and speaks an incredible 6 languages. Shruti Ghatge is the co-founder and CEO of Zomentum, the leading revenue platform for channel partners. Prior to Zomentum, she was part of the venture capital industry, investing in seed and Series A SaaS companies. An entrepreneur and innovator, Shruti's current focus is delivering revenue-generating solutions to technology partners worldwide. Leading Zomentum, she can empower technology partners with data to strategically grow their businesses and their revenue. The platform fuels technology sales revenue of an incredible $500 million a year and counting. Among her recent recognitions, Shruti was awarded Young Alumni Achiever Award 2021 from IIT Kharagpur, and that same year, Zomentum was awarded a Great Place to Work, something I can attest to, under her leadership. The platform has won numerous awards as an innovative solution, much loved by partners worldwide. Shruti, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Ben, and congratulations on kickstarting this series.
Thank you. So let's open up with a question then. What, in your mind, is the biggest problem facing technology partners today?
Well, cloud is growing and SMBs are adopting technology. The technology spend is growing at a rate unprecedented. And of course, COVID has accelerated that spend, which means they're moving away from the 2 or 3 legacy applications to highly specific problem-solving tools, which makes the reliance on partners very, very important for them because the partners actually make this happen for the SMBs. Partners need to solution both for their own business and for their clients. And frankly speaking, partners deserve better solutions for their own business and solutions that they resell to their end clients. They need a consolidated sort of supply chain of these solutions. Working with multiple vendors and distributors increases the complexity unnecessarily. So partners need empowerment to more proactively solve their clients' needs. Some of these solutions are very new in the market.
Yeah, it's interesting hearing you talking about that because a lot of what you say mirrors my experience over the last 10 or 12 years of running an MSP, or as Zomentum refers to them as technology partners. So in your mind, where does Zomentum specifically fit into solving that problem? Or not that problem, those problems?
So Zomentum is a partner-first organization. Providing a consolidated source of information and vetted solutions that solve the emerging business challenges that partners face is what we stand for. Zomentum has had a sales platform for a few years, and the challenges have evolved since. Partners are already empowered to manage and close deals. Now they need solutions to expand beyond simply selling, say, a Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace, along with some bit of security that they do. So Zomentum is actually evolving to support that into a revenue platform to manage and grow the entire revenue operations for technology partners. From uncovering problems or opportunities with their clients, finding the solutions, making that sale happen, provisioning of those services, reconciling the licensing and billing, and accessing support associated with all of these things that they do.
So just to stop you there then, that sounds like Zomentum completely closes the loop for the technology partners.
Yes, which is why we want to call ourselves like the revenue platform, because everything from bringing revenue, growing it, to prevention of leakage of that revenue is what we are working towards.
So actually, just to stop you there then, so talking to the licensing and billing reconciliation, Zomentum just acquired Goulash, which is a Belgian vendor or platform that integrates between the vendor licensing and invoicing and the PSAs. So let's, for argument's sake, say you're buying your Microsoft 365 licenses from one of the big traditional distributors, Ingram Cloud or Tech Data, someone like that. They're issuing you an invoice, one consolidated invoice for all of your clients' licensing each month. The challenge there is ensuring that what you're being charged by your vendors and by your distributors matches up to what you're charging your customers. To look at a mathematical example of that, if we take a typical Microsoft 365 Business Premium license, it's costing you around $20. If you've got one license missing from one of your clients that your vendor's charging you, but you're not charging your client, that's $20 a month. Multiply that across 6 months until you actually notice that it's missing. That's $120 for one license missing from one client. Now, you can hardly go back to your client 6 months later and say, hey, we messed up on the billing. Here's a supplementary invoice for $120 to make up for our mistake. So you end up having to swallow it. And the other opportunity there, if you're doing your reconciliations every 3 months or every 6 months, hopefully you're catching them in time, but it's a lot of time, reconciling all of the different vendors across all of the clients, across all of the services. It's hours and hours of work each month reconciling it. So Goulash fits into automatically, completely automate that process. Whatever you're being charged by your vendor, Goulash is updating it in your PSA, so you're billing your customer the right amount.
Yes, and I must thank you for introducing them to us, because we were looking to solve the leaky bucket problem and you brought to us Goulash and this ended up happening. Let me ask you this, right? We spoke about all the problems, but do you agree with the way Zomentum is attacking and solving these problems for the partners?
Yeah, absolutely. I joined Zomentum because what I saw was the end-to-end solution to the entire sales problem for MSPs and technology partners. I had a demo of the Zomentum platform in January 2021 while I was consulting for another MSP looking for a sales platform, and thought, wow, the problems they've already solved, the way they're doing it is absolutely aligned with the way MSPs and technology partners are working. And that said, while the solutions marketplace is quite new to all of us, there have been quite a lot of product features that I've been involved with over the last 6 months that really help technology partners to chase the trends, or not just chase the trends, but to more honestly address the problems that their customers are facing. So it's not just about sales; it is genuinely about solving problems for their customers. So we've released Microsoft 365 assessments, completely automated way to uncover issues that need to be addressed. And not all of those issues are soluble using Microsoft's own services. So that ties in nicely with the marketplace, because we can help connect vendor solutions that the technology partners may never have heard of directly to the problems that they're uncovering in the Microsoft 365 environment. Obviously, that uncovers new revenue opportunities. Tie that into what we've just been talking about with the Goulash and the licensing billing reconciliation, further closing that loop. We've released various new assessment templates, things like the CIS cybersecurity assessment frameworks, which help our technology partners to align their end customers with security best practice. And again, by doing so, uncover new revenue opportunities. We literally just released a couple of additional payment integrations, Stripe, for example, to further streamline that revenue process. So now really, what they can do is they can collect those payments while the proposal's being accepted, again, further closing that loop. That said, I think the marketplace is probably the most interesting project that I've been involved with, because it solves yet another problem that nobody else is trying to solve. And that's connecting the partners with innovative SaaS solutions.
As a MSP yourself, how did you go about finding these innovative solutions? Because there are tens of thousands of them that exist, right? How did you find those and connect them to your end customers' problems?
Well, it was a nightmare. No other, no other word for it. An absolute nightmare. Every single client is in a slightly different business. They work in a different way. They've got a different number of employees. The scenarios are completely different. So you have to put hours of research into each and every problem that gets raised. A law firm of 100 employees looking for a marketing solution is going to be very different to an accounting firm of 10 employees looking for a marketing solution. So usually that research isn't really reusable. You have to go out and find solutions each and every time. And there was also this need for, frankly, unsustainable levels of ongoing communications with these end customers. We had to be at the table, or do our best to be at the table with all of the functional leaders within those clients' businesses all of the time. And even the functional leaders weren't necessarily at the same table at the same time. So we had these ongoing threads all the time, speaking to different bits of the business, trying to help them communicate problems they don't understand to me, looking at solutions that I've never worked with before. And it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. And ultimately, it just didn't work. So the purpose to me of this podcast is exactly that. It's to introduce the problems and talk around those problems with the vendors solving the problems. And I don't think anyone's really doing that. And we want to be able to inspire partners to explore how their own customers might be facing the problems that these vendors are talking about. So if you see a particular vendor coming up on the show, just because you haven't heard of them or you don't yet think you understand the problem they're solving, you've got to listen in, because they're going to be explaining the problem relative to the way your client's probably experiencing the problem, and helping you to therefore understand it and understand the solution to that problem before the customer comes to you with the problem. And I think that's going to be a really interesting conversation to be had.
For sure. And I mean, to be fair, that's how we are looking at the solutions marketplace as well, right? We're bringing vendors into the partner ecosystem where the partners are already working and selling, versus the partners having to go on this lookout for vendors. Like you just said, currently partners need to spend a lot of time researching solutions they've not considered before. We can actually shortcut that process by providing the link between the problems and the solutions. I don't know, it's practically impossible to even imagine a partner having to follow 25, 30 different processes dictated by 25, 30 different vendors that they might be working with. And that list is constantly growing as SaaS is itself growing. So what we are doing is a step towards empowering partners and giving them their due by pushing vendors to provide a consistent partner experience. And honestly, it benefits both sides of the transaction.
It's one thing for you to say it's impossible to imagine a partner having to follow 25 different processes for 25 different vendors. Believe me, that's how everyone's having to work at the moment. I've spent the last 10 years having to do exactly that. You have to maintain different logins for different portals. One vendor's working on Salesforce and expect you to be on their Salesforce area to download the collateral and stuff you need. Then you've got another partner that's using some other platform, and it's impossible. As employees join and leave your team, the knowledge of which portals contain which information gets completely lost. And I think it slows down the sales for the vendors themselves. These vendors, they're not able to deliver the collateral they need to deliver in the right place at the right time. And for the technology partners trying to sell their solutions, they're unable to find the right collaterals in the right place at the right time. So yeah, you're right when you say it benefits both sides of the transaction there.
Well, the thought of that only gives me anxiety, so I cannot even imagine how it is to live through it.
I guess moving it on slightly from there, the Zomentum platform must be able to gain insights into the way technology partners sell solutions, and crucially, what's most effective. longer term, is there anything exciting that we can do with that data? Can we leverage that data to help shorten the sales cycle for all of our partners?
Well, for sure. The data fabric is going to be super important in what insight we go back and give to the partners just to enable them to scale their business, right? For example, if we, by the virtue of our data, know that, say, a law firm of 100 employees in particular geographical location has typical budgets and they use typical certain category of softwares, and if you as a partner have not sold all of those potential things that we know that they usually buy, then that's a clear opportunity for you to go and have that conversation with the SMB, the law firm in this case, and find solutions from our marketplace to kind of match the problems that the law firm is facing. And so it just leads to uncovering of even more opportunities for the partners, solving problems they didn't know even existed in the first place.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I think we can probably take that further because we can then feed those insights into the sales platform to make it directly actionable. Because we can show them, or we will be able to show them, these are the typical tools that would fit the type of client in, and as you say, in the geography with the number of employees in the vertical that you're talking about. We know that they're already using this stack of tools. These are the complementary solutions that fill the holes within that stack. And I think there's something really exciting to be done there. So we can find the problem, we can then surface the solution, and we can then add it to a proposal, which we can get signed off, and then we can collect the payment, and then we can reconcile the licenses to prevent that revenue leakage. And it just becomes a rinse and repeat cycle of continuously finding problems and showing them to our technology partners, surfacing the solutions, adding them to a proposal, getting them signed off, and over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's well summarized, I'd say.
Thank you so much for joining me today. It was as enlightening as I had always hoped. I guess a few things to wrap up. Where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
Well, me personally on LinkedIn, I guess, but about the company, Zomentum.com, that's where you go. We keep updating the website as and when we launch things. So go hit it up and let us know if you have any feedback.
Sure. So if anyone wants a demo of the Zomentum revenue platform, just go to Zomentum.com, and there's a contact form you'll be able to fill in to book a demo. Shruti would love to connect with you on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/Shruti Ghatge. The last thing I want to ask everyone, and I'm going to ask everyone at the end of each show, is if you could name one person that you would love to hear on the show, who would it be?
Well, I'd love for Jay McBain to be on the show, and if we'll try for that to happen. But otherwise, to the listeners, I'd say Jay is always so on the point about what he says, and he knows about the channel. So we listen to him a lot, and I would advocate for you guys to also go and listen in.
Shruti, thank you very much for joining me. It's been great fun.
Thanks for listening. If you want to get more from today's show, check out the show notes and share this episode with a friend. Earn, grow, and manage revenue quickly and cost effectively in the Zomentum revenue platform. To learn more, check out Zomentum.com. See you in the next episode.